Sport tonight from Dunedin's Chinese Garden, Southern Steel captain and former Silver Fern, Jodi Brown.
Well, Jodi, the life and times of Jodi Brown in 10 minutes, if you can do that. But start at the beginning for us because Whanganui, place of birth.
Yeah, I grew up in Whanganui, which is a cool little North Island place, not far from Wellington. Mum and Dad live there and I've got a little brother there. And just a really cool place to grow up. Tried everything around sport, never sat in front of the TV, lived around the corner from the outdoor swimming pool where I lived mostly Saturdays and Sundays and all of the summer holidays, and eventually went on to have a summer job as a lifeguard there. So yeah, just a really active place, really good, you know, got the bridges to do running around the Whanganui River and stuff, so yeah.
So how was life as a lifeguard? Did you have any scary moments?
No scary moments. I, through doing lots of sporting when I was young, I took up swimming. That was one of my passions, and eventually gave it up because I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Not a good morning person, take note. But through that got involved in lifeguard, and it was really cool because it was around a place like the pool that I loved, a summer job, but also at the same time I was learning vital skills, you know, like swim safety and how to look after other people and what to look for. So yeah, valuable I think in what I'm doing. So.
Well, when did you recognise that netball was a direction? Was that as a child did you start to play regularly in a team?
Yeah, I guess I was really lucky when I was growing up. My parents were very supportive of anything that me and my brother wanted to do, and you know, whether they were the taxi driver or the first aid person or the referee, they were there just supporting us in whatever way. And I guess it wasn't until we hit secondary school and we were allowed to play 2 sports, and I kind of branched off into basketball on a Friday night and netball on a Saturday. And that was the first time I actually took up netball, so it wasn't until I was 13. And I didn't really want to play it because you have to wear skirts.
Is that not you?
No, it's not me at all. I don't think I own a dress in my life, except for my netball dress. But my passion is basketball, and I really love that. And I mean, if you could have the opportunities that I've had in netball with basketball, I think I'd still be in the basketball mode. But netball's given me a lot of more opportunities, and I really enjoy that as well. So. Yeah, it wasn't until I got to that point that I was like, these are my 2 serious sports, and then obviously netball became semi kind of professional, if you can call it that, in the beginning, and that kind of took over my life from there.
Right. So from Whanganui, what was the next step?
Yeah, I was pretty lucky. I've been a bit of a town and netball team hopper. So I got recruited to the Wellington Capital Shakers when the National Bank Cup started in 1998, and Lois Muir actually commuted from Dunedin to come and be the coach of the Capital Shakers, and I was 16 and got finished my last 2 years at secondary school in Wellington, and that's kind of where my national career took off, and started there in Wellington. Did 5 years there. It was only supposed to be 3 months and go back home to Whanganui, but ended up being there for 5 years, and from there I moved to Christchurch and played for the Canterbury region, up to Auckland and played for the Auckland region, and then found the love of my life and ended up in Dunedin. So, yeah.
Just go back for a moment, if you would, to Wellington. A 16-year-old girl, first time away from home. That would have been a big life experience for you. Yeah,
it was, especially because I'm very much a family person. I love even though we dreaded it when we were teenagers or when we were at school, you know, sitting down at night time, all the mum, dad, my brother around the table talking about what we did that day or what's coming up the next day, like really family united, you know, barbecues on the weekends. So, yeah, 16, getting dropped off in Wellington by my mum and left me at my school gate. There was a few tears, but I guess, you know, like it was a brilliant opportunity and I couldn't turn it down. And looking back now, you know, it was very, very hard, but it was such an easy decision to make, and I'm glad I did.
And what was your thoughts about Lois Muir? I mean, that must be quite an imposing figure, first serious coach.
Yeah, I guess so. She'd come to do a couple of summer training camps. So when you're little throughout netball, you do some summer training camps and you have like guest coaches come in and take you. And that's, I think, where she spotted me and decided that she wanted to give me a trial for the Shakers. And I just remember her being this legend in netball and not to say anything to her, and if she told me something I was like, yes, I'll do that. And it was honouring at the time to know that she wanted me, this little kid from Whanganui, to come and play in the big league with, you know, like I remember sitting at home with my mum watching, I think it was the Bend On League or Caltex Cup, you know, when Tanya Cox and Nolene Tadua were playing, and I would watch PIC and just be blown away with their skill. And here I was trialling against them, and potentially they were going to be my teammates. So it was a massive step and a huge honour, and I was really lucky that I got offered that position.
How long before you felt comfortable at that level? Assuming.
Do I still feel comfortable?
I was going to say.
Yeah. I guess it took a while. It did take a long while. It probably wasn't until I went to... sorry.
It's nature.
It probably wasn't until I went to Christchurch that I really started to come up, and I guess that's the nature of having all those senior players around you, is that they are really dominant in what they want and what they expect of a player, and the standards that they set, and I was still trying to get up to their standards. And I guess when a few of them retired and stuff, it was time for me to step up and raise my own standards and give those standards to the other ones coming through. So a good 5 or 6 years. Yeah.
What about position? Always been shooter because of your height?
Well, I was goal shoot, and that was my position until a South African came and took my position.
I wonder who that could have been.
And Irene is one of my good friends, and we laugh about it the whole time because, Capital Shakers, I was lucky enough to be the starting goal shoot and walked into the team and was a starting goal shoot with Noeline Tadua at goal attack, and she just nurtured me the whole way through. And then Irene came over and I lost my position. So that made me play goal attack, and it did take me a long time to get used to the goal attack position, the dynamics of it, and the fact that you had to do so much work up court but then also shoot the goals. And so I quite happily slot into either position, and I see the different roles of each position, and they're quite unique, and it's quite nice to be able to flick between both of them. If I'm a little bit tired, goal shoot. If I'm feeling energetic, goal attack.
Well, now you're captain, you can choose.
Well, hope so. That's what you need to tell the coaches.
All right, talk about the New Zealand scene. Obviously you progressed so well that the national selectors were impressed.
Yeah, and I think I was really lucky that I had players around me like Noeline, and also when I moved to Canterbury I was in the company of like Julie Seymour and Belinda Colleen and Belinda Charteris. So I had those really talented players around me to nurture me and to bring me into that environment, and I guess it was a little bit of that, but also my own determination that wanted to see me get into the Silver Ferns, and hearing about them and what they do in that environment. And I was lucky enough in 2003 to get that opportunity, and it kind of came out of the blue. So a week before the New Zealand trials I'd actually rolled my ankle, and they'd said that I couldn't trial, but I was determined to do it, and strapped it up so I could barely move it, and did enough, which was fantastic. And it was a real honour to be in that team, because it was a chance to defend the title, well, not to defend, to get the title in Jamaica that we hadn't won for 16 years. And just being in my first Silver Ferns team was amazing opportunity. I was in a team full of people that were obviously hurting from 2 World Cups, 95 and 99, and they had just done everything in the book to make sure that no stone was left unturned, that they'd covered everything. They were very professional but also teamy at the same time, and they just had a very direct approach to what they were going to do and how they were going to achieve it. And that was just, from a young player, I think I only took the court about 4 times during the tournament, but just seeing that gave you inspiration in yourself to make you want to be one of those players. And so I was fortunate enough to have a successful campaign with that, and I just took that passion and knew that that's where I wanted to be, and knew that I had to ride my time, obviously, because I was a young player, and if I wanted to get out there I had to show them that I deserved to be out there. And those opportunities came in 2004 and 2005, and 2006 was obviously a disappointing year, but obviously made it back for 2007 for the World Champs, so that was good too.
What about, do you still have aspirations to go back there to that level?
Yeah, I think so. I think you've got to think about the Silver Ferns as a really unique opportunity, and I've been in the environment and I know how much time and dedication that it does take, and now having a family and not just having to think about myself is a little bit different. And in a Silver Ferns environment, you're talking about going away for weeks at a time, so you go into a camp and you might have a week of training and then have a week and a half of a test series. And that's a bit different when you have kids and having to, young kids like myself, and having to rely on childcare options and stuff like that. So, look, with the 2006 Melbourne Commonwealth Games and the disappointing time I had there, I would really like to do a Commonwealth Games again, because I haven't I've been in that environment for one day and then obviously had to leave, and so I would really like to do that again, and if that opportunity came, I think I would grab it with two arms. But I also have to think about my family as well, which is, can't be selfish all the time.
Well, tell us about your family, because this is really an open book thing. A couple of young kids and a Dunedin-based husband.
So Dunedin-based husband that's now doing something that he likes with the general manager of the Buswell Otago, so working with the Otago Nuggets, and he's really loving that and loving being back in his home environment. And I think we've been back here for about 5 years now, so it's a little bit like home for me now as well. Yeah, two beautiful little girls. Kiana's 3 and Aria's just turned 1. And they just change your life dramatically, and anyone who has kids will know what I mean instantly. And they're just a ball of fun all the time, and I dearly miss them when I'm away, and when I'm here I want to go away.
What about some motor skills? Any sign of that with him?
Oh yeah, we have a 3-year-old who is very much into everything, and my mum often says that she reminds me of me when I was little. So very opportunist, love to do everything, love to get out and be outside and doing swimming lessons and ballet, and God help me, ballet.
Oh, but that means wearing a dress.
Yeah, it does. So I don't know where she got that from, maybe her father.
Okay, well, that's going on there, that bit. Outside of when you want to get away from netball completely, how do you like to relax?
Yeah, well, I have studied teaching, so started off really wanting to be a school teacher and be in the primary school and being involved with teaching, and throughout my netball career I have done odd nannying jobs as well, so really love kids, really love that, but also love the outdoors, and we have a family camping trip every summer holidays that we go up to Twizel with, so really enjoy that, and just look, I love family and I love being around people, so any opportunity that I get to mix and mingle with family and friends, I take it, because we're so busy with netball that those are rare opportunities, so socialising is a good key strength of mine.
All right, in this interview, I don't want to get too detailed about netball itself, because we're away from that, but I have to talk about the captaincy, because that's something new. Yeah,
it is something new, and it's an honour to have, and I think with the Steel taking a new direction this year, it's quite nice to be able to give a blank page and to start again and kind of put my own philosophies and style towards it, and I guess I'm really lucky with the proud history that both the Sting and the Rebels have had, that obviously that you want to bring into the Steel now and moving forward, and it's a huge honour actually, and I've got some big names to live up to, I guess.
You've also had some great experience, as you mentioned, playing with great players under great coaches. You're just pulling a little bit of each?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. I think you have to do that, and I think probably what's got me to the position is that I have used some of those skills that they have given me, and I have shown that I can do some of the things that I've seen my previous captains do. But at the same time, I'm also putting my own spin on it, and I have my own kind of ways of leading. I'm not a big talker on the court, and it's probably because I'm so puffed that I can't talk. but I lead in other ways, so I tend to let my actions do more of the talking rather than opening my mouth a lot.
Because it's quite a wide variety of experience. You'll be looking at very experienced players like Donna and some people who are just new to this level.
Yeah, and I'm very lucky in that respect, because I've got a great leadership group behind me of Donna Wilkins, Demelza McLeod and Cheryl Scanlon, and they, all 4 of us bring something different, and if you could pick the qualities out of all of us and put them into one person, that would be such a brilliant leader that it would be fantastic. So I think we're really lucky in that respect. I mean, Donna is in a league of her own in terms of her playing ability, but also her leadership off the court. And Demelza just will talk non-stop. So she's a talker, and Cheryl just has that real passion and determination. So I think I'm very lucky that I have those ones behind me to help me.
Well, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I want you to tell me one thing about you that the team might not know. A little habit, a little quirk, something in your past, a skeleton perhaps?
That's hard. That I still hold the current under 12 50 metre freestyle New Zealand record.